If you ever see a man standing alone at night holding balloons, don't go near him, because people say anyone who follows him never comes back. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Fear Files. Tonight's story is about something very unusual. A man who appears out of nowhere holding balloons. And if you ever see him, you should never follow him. This incident happened in 2021 in a small and quiet town where everything felt completely normal during the day. Kids played outside, people walked freely, and nothing ever felt strange. But like many small towns, things changed after sunset. There was a boy named Aarav, around 14 years old, who loved spending time outside, especially at a playground near his house. During the day, the place was always full of children, but after evening it became empty and completely silent. People in that town had a strange belief that sometimes late at night, a man could be seen standing in that playground holding balloons. Most people ignored it as just a rumor, and Aarav did too. One evening, Aarav stayed out longer than usual. The sky slowly turned dark, the streetlights flickered on, and one by one everyone left the playground until he was completely alone. Just as he was about to leave, he noticed someone standing at the far end of the ground. It was a man, completely still, holding a bunch of colorful balloons floating above him. Aarav felt confused and slowly walked closer, calling out, asking what he was doing there. But the man didn't respond. There was complete silence for a few seconds, and then slowly the man turned his head and looked directly at Aarav. At that moment, Aarav felt something was wrong. The man's smile was too wide, unnatural, and his eyes were completely dark. Without saying anything, the man raised one balloon and extended it toward Aarav and whispered, "Take it." Before we continue, if you enjoy horror stories like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Fear Files, because things are about to get much darker. Aarav hesitated because something felt wrong, but the balloon looked completely normal. So slowly he reached out and took it, and the moment he touched the string, the man disappeared. Just like that, gone without a sound, leaving Aarav standing there in shock. The playground was empty again, with no sign of the man, no footsteps, nothing. Only the balloon remained in his hand. He ran back home that night, trying to forget what he had just seen. But something didn't feel right anymore. Later that night, as he lay in bed, he noticed the balloon was still floating in his room, gently moving even though the windows were closed. At exactly 3 a.m., Aarav suddenly woke up. At first everything seemed quiet, but then he heard something. A whisper, very soft but clear, saying, "Come outside." Aarav froze and looked at the balloon as it moved slightly, and again the whisper came, "Come outside." Slowly, almost like he wasn't in control, Aarav got out of bed and walked toward the window. He looked down at the street and saw the same man, standing under a streetlight, holding more balloons. This time there were many, all floating perfectly still as if time itself had stopped around them. The man slowly looked up and smiled, then raised his hand, signaling Aarav to come down. Aarav felt something strange, like he couldn't stop himself, and his body began to move toward the door step by step. His hand reached the handle, and he was just about to open it when, suddenly the balloon inside his room burst with a loud pop. The sound broke the silence and snapped him out of it instantly. His breathing became fast as he ran back to the window. But the street was empty again. The man was gone as if he had never been there. The next morning, Aarav told everything to his parents, and even though they didn't fully believe him, they made sure he never stayed out late again. But the story didn't end there. A few weeks later, a child from the same area went missing, and the last time anyone saw him, he was walking down the street at night, following a man holding balloons. Even today, people say if you ever see balloons floating in the middle of the night, don't follow them, because he might be there, waiting. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe to the Fear Files, and I'll see you in the next nightmare.